Alright, we have pre-flighted. Let's go ahead and run through a pre-start checklist here. Alright, everything comes back on, everything goes to full. Let's check our fuel, gonna be on the left-hand side. Doing pretty good on fuel. Alright, let's bring our flaps back up. Those are coming back up. Cowl flaps are open, which is fine for now. Let's grab our beacon light here. Fuel pump comes on, peaks and off. Throttle goes to 1/8 of an inch. Brakes on. And clear prop. Okay, good start. Watch the ribbons here, leave the mixture for the ground. Try and keep it above 1,000. Alright, taxi lights, nav lights come on. Avionics can also come on at this time. Oh, and of course, my beloved new panel is not working, so we'll do the old pull and plug real quick. Get a bunch of nice Windows notifications. Working on getting some hardware switches to make this more of an automated process. Oh, still not happy. Okay, guess we're not doing the panel today. Guess I broke my cardinal rule. I didn't restart after a long bit of downtime. That's fine. Alright, engines are running. Let's go ahead and connect up to PilotEdge here. Gonna be doing a VFR departure.
Connected to PilotEdge.
Correct, close traffic.
Affirmative.
Oh, look at all that traffic. So much traffic.
5306 X-ray. The instruction was to make a left close traffic, report midfield each time.
Ruh-roh.
On the right downwind. Runway 29 clear for the option, and can you explain why?
Misinterpreted. Thought it was a right traffic. We'll file and try again.
06 X-ray. No, it's okay if you didn't understand it correctly. I'll give you a pass on that, but no more mistakes. On the go, runway 29 clear for the option. On the go, make a left clear traffic.
Left traffic, clear for the option, runway 29er.
Alright, so we can skirt under the Bravo to the west and then south over Palos Verdes and Rancho Palos. Then down under Seal Beach.
1720 Kilo Torrance ground.
At that point we can fly above the Charlie, Santa Ana Charlie.
Taxiway Alpha Juliet.
And then we'll head down towards where we're going. We might do a pit stop at one of the other airports in between where we're going here.
GA ramp right next to the helipad with information with the departure from the location.
Actually, what does an eastbound departure look like?
There
Let's
see.
So Long Beach is Delta. Goes up to 2600. There is a little shelf there, a little corridor.
Thank you, you too.
The Los Angeles Bravo doesn't start until 5,000 feet.
Wind 210.
And then we'd be over the Fullerton.
Present position departure approved at your own risk. Use caution. Area is not moving area.
Because the Bravo doesn't go down to 6,000 there.
Present departure approved at own risk. Shotgun 2.
Okay, so if we depart to the east,
and shotgun 2
if we fly here,
aircraft type is
we'll be good. We just need to get above 2,600 by the time we get to Long Beach's Delta. That sounds possible. Alright, this is going to be really tight though. Sounds like fun though. Okay, so we'll do that. We'll depart to the east. That gives us some more options for a pit stop, and then our final destination is going to be Lima 78, down far down by the border. Okay, so
Good afternoon, Van Nuys Tower, Cardinal
go ahead and
177
chart
Mike
this out
Juliet,
here.
about 7 miles to the south, 4,500 inbound. We have Zulu.
We also have some TFRs we gotta skirt.
Yeah,
But
584
other
Los
than
Angeles,
that,
level 280.
should be no sweat. Cool.
Colonel 177 Mike
Adjusting full
Juliet.
flight here.
Nice tower and a right downwind, runway
Let me
16
just
right.
double check. So if our magic altitude's gonna be
Right downwind for 16 right.
3,500. We'll clear the Long Beach. We'll be under the Bravo shelf. It starts at 5, then it starts at 6,000 as you go further east, and then there's going to be the Fullerton Delta, which goes up to 2,500, so at 3,500 we'll be clear of that. And then we won't even be in the way of John Wayne's Delta, which starts at 3,500. So that's perfect. We're basically going to head straight east departure. So we'll go ahead and call the field up.
Shotgun 22, radar contact,
And before we do that, let me find
Switching check-ins.
my clipboard here. Get ready to write down some stuff.
Santa Maria Ground, Eclipse 713 Lima Alpha at the west hangar, looking for a northeast departure with November.
Oh boy, Coob's in the house.
Eclipse
I don't know how long you've been here,
713
Coob.
Alpha Santa Maria ground, runway
But
30,
welcome.
text be Alpha.
This is that thing that I do. It's a lot of fun.
Shotgun 22, Zoka departure, cancel altitude restriction, resume navigation.
Alright, let's grab the weather really quick. 118.4, put that in COM 2. Listen to COM 2.
Hawthorne Municipal Information Echo.
06
Echo.
X-ray, what's the
2300 Zulu
pattern,
weather.
traffic pattern altitude?
Wind 230 at 18. Visibility more than 10.
Greater than 10.
Sky clear.
1,200.
Temperature 16. Dew point -23.
And 6.
Altimeter 2983.
2983.
Arriving and departing runway 25. Advise
Never
on initial
believe you,
contact.
but that's okay. Alright, we'll set the altimeter here, 2983. Small adjustment. And over to tower, or ground weather, 125.1. We'll put that in COM 1.
San Luis Towers, Hog 5306 X-ray.
And we'll wait for it to get a little less busy here. In the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and set my altitude bug to 3,500 feet.
For the option.
Runway 29, clear for the option. 5306 X-ray.
And I'm going to start thinking about my first radio call so I
600
don't fuck it up too bad.
I did put you through as a pass for the I-1. Congrats.
Okay, so we are
Roger. Thank you for the pass.
401 Tango Sierra, or Bonanza V-35. With the weather. VFR departure to the east at 3,500.
Tower, Cirrus 161.
And normally it would be prudent to actually get flight following out of here, but I'm going to try it without it. See how it goes. It's nice and congested to the east, which is exactly why I want to try this. Alright, we're on ground. Let's go ahead and give him a call. Actually, let's figure out exactly where we are. We should be on the south ramp here. Is that true? We are indeed on the southwest ramp. Hawthorne ground, Bonanza 401 Tango Sierra with the weather. We'd like a VFR departure to the east at 3,500. We're currently at the southwest ramp.
November 401 Tango Sierra, Hawthorne ground. Runway 25, taxi via south taxiway.
25 south taxiway 401 Tango Sierra. Alright, brakes released, quick motion check here, left, right, brakes, everything works.
Santa Maria Ground, Eclipse 713
All of our
Alpha,
lights are
clear,
good, our
cross
fuel's
120.
good, all of our engine instruments are good so far. I'll do a run up at the other end of the field.
Cross runway 20 out.
Clear cross 713 Alpha.
And just confirming towers 21.1. We've already got that dialed in standby on COM 1. No need to worry about that. Alright, so we'll figure out what if they give us any specific instructions on departure. Otherwise, we're going to want to swing east immediately and climb relatively quickly to 3,500 feet. And we're about 70 feet above sea level right now, so that's it's a ways to go. But it's times like these where ForeFlight comes in handy, because this would be really difficult to do in the just using the default GPS. Be a huge pain in the butt. Be a lot of fun, for sure, or even trying to do it dead reckoning. But in this airspace, it's really, really hard to do that kind of stuff. Definitely beyond my capabilities right now. Maybe one day. Alright, so just reminding myself of the wind right now. It's 13 gusting, 20, about 2 knot crosswind component from the left hand side. We'll still have a slight crosswind component, or crosswind correction on departure. Go ahead and slow my roll a little bit here. I don't need to be in such a hurry. Let's go ahead and clear this out.
United 584, speed the Angel 1 arrival. Check on 22, contact local approach 135.4.
Yeah, it's just like a mess of airspace, because you don't get like vertical information, you just see lateral
Torrance
boundaries
Tower and
in
172
the
Sierra Kilo,
430.
inshore runway 2029 right at Juliet, northbound departure.
Alright, we're going to make this turn a little bit wide here. Double check we got
172 Sierra Kilo,
clearance
Torrance
to our
Tower,
right.
on course approved, wind 26012, gust 17, runway 29 right, clear for takeoff.
Clear to take out runway 29 right,
Alright, let's do a quick run up here. Alright, we got the brakes. Make sure it goes to full.
Sunshine 206
Gonna accelerate the RPM here to 1600. Check our prop governor.
206.
That
Actually,
looks
it's a 206
good.
that's stationary. Centurion would be a 210.
And just double checking our magnetos. That's the correct route.
Yeah,
all the way to the right.
162.
1, 2. Looks good. All the way to
Roger.
the right.
San Luis
And engine instruments
Tower,
are all in the green.
Skyhawk 5306
Gonna go,
X-ray
idle check
reporting
now.
midfield.
Hop on over to tower. Hey, idle check is good.
Check on 22, Stoke Approach, Ontario, altimeter
Alright, once she gets a
2982.
break, we'll give her a call and let her know we're ready to go.
Van Nuys Tower, Cardinals 177 by Juliet, going around 16 right.
A lot of mist and going arounds today. Hawthorne Tower, Bonanza 401, taking us here, holding short runway 25, run up complete. Alright, left crosswind correction here. 2 knots coming in from the left just a little bit.
Sirius
13
1
to
Juliet
20
Whiskey,
coming off the nose.
contact local approach 119.6.
119.6, 1 Juliet Whiskey.
401 Tango Sierra, Hallmark Tower, were you calling ready?
Affirm.
Air 401 Tango Sierra, left down departure to the east, approved runway 25, clear for takeoff, wind 25013, gust 20.
Left downwind departure to the east, runway 25, clear for takeoff, Bonanza 401, take us here. Alright.
Torrance Tower
Lights.
172 Sierra Kilo, requesting frequency approved, please.
Camera. And action.
San Luis Tower, Skyhawk 5306 X-ray, confirming clearance to land.
And
There's
set
06
our power here.
Runway 29, click the option.
Slight correction
Runway
in.
29, clear for the option, 5306
Releasing the
X-ray.
correction.
Sirius 16 Julie Whiskey,
And here we go.
execute missed approach as published. Same
There we go.
intentions.
Okay, positive rate, gear comes out.
Okay.
And once we get to 500 feet, we'll turn left.
Check on 22,
Crosswind.
March Air Force Base is 12 o'clock at about 4 miles from inside.
Torrance Tower 172 Sierra Kilo, requesting frequency
That's
approved,
500.
please.
Left turn.
Check on 22,
Got the
contact
runway
March Tower
course here in the
127.65.
horizontal situation indicator.
172 Sierra Kilo, frequency change approved.
So we'll continue our climb.
Over to Houghton Tower 2 seconds, thank you.
Van Nuys Tower, Cardinal
And
177 by
that's
Juliet,
90
midfield,
degrees.
right.
Got
for
the
165.
2 guys in front of us. So we're going to continue climbing. That's pattern altitude right there, so we can go ahead and
Arch Tower, shotgun.
get towards our downwind. I've got two guys on my TCAS pretty high above me, fast movers, not worried about them. Just going to continue the climb. Doesn't have to be a fast climb, just want to get up to 3,500 feet as soon as possible. So we avoid the Torrance's Delta, right? Or is that Long Beach's Delta? Long Beach's Delta.
172 Sierra Kilo climbing 2,400 to 2,500.
Alright, that's us on the downwind.
Northbound departure.
See, we're parallel to the runway there.
Call
It's just gone under the
177 my Juliet on the extended downwind 16 right.
I screwed up the lights again.
Juliet, runway 16 right, clear to land.
Whenever I look down, I get the strobe and the beacon.
Clear land,
16
right.
to
Then wake up.
not get them confused.
Airway 72 Kilo, Hawthorne Tower.
So we're good. We're going to cheat on over here a little bit to the right to avoid the lowering in the Los Angeles Bravo shelf.
2,500 outside.
That's 2,200, 2,300. We're almost at 2,500 feet,
Between 2,500.
which is great. We're just going to keep up the climb here.
Radio check, please.
Alright, so we're officially above Long Beach's Delta, and we're still under the Los Angeles Bravo, so we are clear of all airspace, which is great. And we're going to stop our climb in 500 feet at 3,500 feet. Going to maintain this course.
Santa Maria Tower, Eclipse 713 Alpha, holding short runway 30.
Eclipse 713 Alpha, Santa Maria Tower, course approved, number 30, clear for takeoff, wind 30014.
30 clear for takeoff, Eclipse 713 Alpha.
And we're just watching for the level off here. We'll level off about 50 feet before we hit 3,500. That's now. Nose down. And pull the power. A little too much nose down there. And I'm just going to trim the airplane out.
Looks like you're about 3 miles now to get your initial. Brake midfield, and you can decide which
so I've got that guy and that guy.
Make a right
else? I've got that guy. Should have been doing a little bit more looking as I came up here. I was really focused on the airspace. But it's not even busy out, and you can see the traffic density is pretty impressive. Got a guy who's going to overtake me from above. He's 3,000 feet above me. He's not an issue. We are looking at him.
Want to make this one a full stop and terminate.
And I've got him. I think there's another guy that I'm missing. And that guy's actually at my altitude, so we're just going to do a quick wing rock here.
Disregard.
And we're going to pull off to the left a little bit. Real low, we're going to go ahead and correct that. Get back up to 3,500 feet.
Arch Tower, shotgun 2-2 on the brake.
Shotgun 2-2, thank you. Check those down, runway 3-2, clear to land.
Yeah, that's good. That's my left turn, still on course.
And, gears coming down now, shotgun 2.
United 584, Oakland Bridge, Los Angeles, altimeter 2984.
Alright,
cross
back
circus
level
at
here.
or above 12,000, cleared ILS right 2 cloud left approach. Cross 720 Kilo, to view reported. Looks like your turn making a circle.
172 Sierra Kilo, second.
Have you reported established mini route? Looks like you're circling back.
172 Sierra Kilo, back to mini route, circling 2 Sierra Kilo, thank you.
Or 2 Sierra Kilo, roger. Contact Los Angeles helicopters 119.8.
119.8,
let's go set our power. I'm going to aim for 24 on the manifold and 24 on the prop.
77 Mike Juliet, taxi departed via Alpha, remain as frequency.
Excellent. Alright, just watching the traffic. Once we
we'll
get out of this
taxi to
congested area, we can go ahead and flip our landing lights off. I'm going to go ahead and make a slight left turn here.
Los Angeles travel number 172 kilo requesting from en route to the northbound, maintaining 2500.
72 Sierra Kilo, Los Angeles helicopters ident.
So we're above Long Beach, and we're going to be above Fullerton's Delta as well. A little off course to the left here, just make a quick little correction.
172 Sierra Kilo, radar contact, clear through Los Angeles Bravo airspace.
It's going to lower down the manifold pressure appropriately. It's going to dial in just a little bit of leaning the mixture there. So there goes that guy. Let's see, anyone else we got to worry about? Got this guy high. Doesn't look like he's going to be a problem. Got that guy there and that guy who's a potential conflict. But he definitely looks higher than me by
aircraft type, are you Skyhawk?
maybe 1,000 feet.
Stationary to 06 to Seattle.
Stationary to
yeah, he doesn't appear to be closing. That's great. That guy looks fine too.
You said you want to take the approach again from Oceanside?
Great. Everything is looking fantastic. I'm going to go ahead and flip my landing lights off here.
Juliet Whiskey registered.
Quick little heading adjustment there. Let's see, we're following roughly, what is that?
Arch Tower shotgun 2. We're on
I-15,
Charlie
I
doing
think.
National Guard ramp.
That's I-15 over there.
Shotgun 2 Tech Park via
We're paralleling California 91.
Via
and that's the I-15 California 91 interchange.
At Charlie.
That's Santa Ana Highway, and then that's the
Charlie
Riverside
ramp,
Freeway.
Cross 30
Santa Ana Freeway and the Riverside Freeway. That's what that is. That's one of the great things about Ortho, and then also just even default X-Plane has really great roads, which makes things really nice for flying VFR. Alright, so we're getting close to half a tank on the left-hand side. I'm going to go ahead and switch it on over to the right. Tend to forget that makes it a little easier on me to just do it then. Just going to go ahead and put the yaw damper on, which is another thing I tend to forget because it's not hidden down the corner there. A little off course to the left.
X-ray, texted back via Alpha, remain this frequency, and turn us for the Cat 3.
Alright, we've got another aircraft directly in front of me. He's pretty high though. Not too worried about him.
713, Limpley radar contact 14 miles northeast of Guadalupe VOR, set up our altimeter 2980.
So basically what we're going to do is we're going to go through this valley here. And then we're going to start turning south of, once we're south of, what is it, Paradise.
120.1, radar service terminated.
Exiting Bravo airspace, contact to the Nature Travel 120.1 to Sierra, thank you.
No 584, contact Circle the Bridge 124.9.
Anyways, nice looking
Summon
day.
Nature Travel number 172 Sierra Kilo, exiting in route to the northbound, maintaining 500.
So, if we'd like, we can actually go ahead and start ascending here if we wanted to.
North of Santa Monica VOR, resume navigation and appropriate VFR
take a look at the winds here.
Squawk VFR.
Yeah, honestly, the winds are more favorable down below, so we'll stay down here.
Flight taxi to 24 with Bravo.
United 584, Circle the Bridge at Lima, contact Tower 120.905.
San Luis Tower, helicopter 909 Hotel Romeo Jet Center, looking for a south departure, current position.
Sears 161 Julia Whiskey, climb on the hole,
Alright.
Cross.
Got traffic up there.
Correction. Climb on the hold to
Way high above me,
4,500.
not an
Cross
issue at all.
ocean side 4,500. Cleared. ILS runway 24 approach. And at Situ, contact tower
Currently about to cross over the Santa Ana River there. Gonna be crossing the Riverside Freeway.
Air 462 Delta, Palomar, clearance, you look for IFR.
Nice traffic density today. A lot of, decent amount of people are on this afternoon, which is great.
Air
Really looking nice
462
outside too.
Delta, was that you call in Palomar clearance for IFR to Camarillo?
So at this point our cylinder temps are pretty low and we're holding down at 24.
Air 462
So I'm
Delta,
going to go ahead
Roger.
and close the cowl flaps there. See a little rise in cylinder temp, which is fine.
Okay, St. Louis Tower,
and we'll probably keep that closed for the duration of the flight.
Departure, present location.
Alright, so once we clear this terrain on our right-hand side, we'll go ahead and turn south, sort of following it. There's a whole line of traffic there.
At your own risk.
That's pretty impressive.
Wind 0013.
That looks like that is
Present location approved.
El Toro. That's El Toro traffic departing there.
Eclipse.
A lot of guys coming out.
Contact Los Angeles Center 135.5.
Anyways, we're going to continue puttering along here.
720 Kilo.
Heading into the valley, crossing over the river.
Frequency is approved and 170.
We're out of the complex and fairly cluttered airspace, which is great. So, nice and easy flight now.
Alright, let's go. 619, Little Space Constant Quest and back.
And so, I think we're going to stop at Foxtrot 70, which is French Valley. We'll see if I actually have scenery there. That could be a very fun landing. We're going to refuel real quick, just top things up. And then we're going to head south to our final destination, which is Lima 78, which is right smack on the border there. Nice little strip, 2,500 feet long, which is just barely enough for me. Technically speaking, whether or not I actually have the skill to pull that off first time around, we'll see.
Oh, 170 Sierra Kilo.
Just got back into the sim yesterday after a few weeks off. A couple weeks off. Really haven't been doing a whole lot of flying here. But I am enjoying the scenery, and I spent a lot of time practicing takeoffs and landings yesterday, just doing a lot of pattern work, which was great. Tried to fly out to Catalina, which was just a tiny bit of a mess at first, and then I made a couple more passes, and it was all right. It wasn't a great day for it. Tutu had not a lot, but like enough tailwind to throw you off. Alright, so we're getting clear of this terrain. I'm going to go ahead and basically hug it. Start turning southbound.
Palomar Tower, Cessna 4629 Delta.
And we're fairly low, but we have plenty of escape options here. We've got the freeway over there. There's should be, what's the airport that's near us? There are a couple smaller ones.
4629 Delta, Palomar Tower, of course, approved runway 24 for takeoff.
There's Riverside, which is a little bit farther away. To our south, we could bail to, probably couldn't bail to Toro because that's over, but we could do Ontario or Chino, that would work. There's also plenty of, there are a couple fields, some good looking roads. That one's not bad over there. This whole field over here looks great if I wanted to bail there. Plenty of options, plenty of options. Alright, picking up a little bit of turbulence here. Got the traffic in front of me. He looks about 2,000 or so feet above me. Not going to be a problem. Go ahead and take the opportunity to just give us a quick look around. Make sure there isn't any traffic that I've missed. Looks pretty good. It's really beautiful over here. Alright, let's see what's going on. Yep, looking great. All the engine instruments are looking nice. While I'm up here, let's tune into the Paradise VOR. That should be 1122. That in our nav one here. 112. Scroll down to 2. Okay, we've got it. We're going to be coming off, more or less, we're going to sort of intercept, this would be the 127 radial south of that. So let's go ahead and put outbound course to 127.
Yeah, 584, go ahead and contact tower. They'll get you to
You can see we're off to the right of that radial. So as we maintain this heading, we'll slowly see this needle creep in.
Tower
And
United
then
584
I can actually switch to nav here.
We had some issues with
and we'll follow that radio outbound.
Let me know what you want me to do.
United 584.
It'll take us a while to
Los
cross that
Tower.
actually. I can give us a heading that'll do that a little bit faster.
255.
Because why not?
Climb maintain 3000.
Let's go ahead and fly due east.
255
Just
3000.
being mindful of the terrain over here to our left hand side. Making sure that we know where our bailout, where our exits are, which we have plenty of them to the right. Plenty of options over there.
16 right, clear to land, 12011.
16 right, clear to land, 2 circular, thank you.
Alright, so we should see that needle moving, maybe?
Van Nuys clearance delivery, Cardinal 177 Mike, Juliet. We have information, Delta.
And it'll be coming in a little bit.
Southbound, coastal route.
Really cool looking terrain over here though.
Van Nuys clearance, departure
Almost like
frequency.
sand dune-ish.
134.2 score.
The only bummer about Ortho is that it's not, doesn't change with the seasons. So you're kind of stuck with one thing, but that's also the nice thing about California. It just sort of looks the same more or less all the time.
77 Mike Juliet.
Alright, so we see the, we've got the needle moving in here.
Mike Juliet, retract.
It's going to intercept the outbound radial. We're actually looking at the 130 outbound radial.
United 584,
so I'm going to go ahead and hit the magic nav button. That's set to V-lock, aka my nav 1, and then as that comes in, the airplane is going to turn to the right and follow that line and fly that course 130 outbound from the Paradise radial, which is 112.2, and there it goes. Almost like magic. Not as fancy as GPS, but it works pretty damn well. Alright, so is this the, let me see if this is the same road in front of us. I think it's still I-15, yeah. So now it's called the what is it? Corona Freeway. If I need to bail out, it's a good place to do it. Also a lot of fields off to my right here. Some other roads as well. Looks like there's an airport ahead of us too. That's, is that, no, we're pretty far away from F-70. Actually, we're not that far away. That might be F-70.
Van Nuys ground, Cardinal 177 Mike
is.
Juliet. We're at the Mather Aviation, just on the southwest side of the tower, ready to taxi.
So we're going to go ahead and hop on over to CTAP, which is 22.8. Give them a call, let them know we're inbound.
Van Nuys ground, runway 16 right, taxi via Alpha Charlie.
16 right via Alpha Charlie, 77 Mike Juliet.
I think that's California 89. That's what that is. Okay, great. It's still about time to give Foxtrot 70 a call anyways. 22.8. Go ahead and swap on over there. Well, let's see exactly where we are here. Got some traffic in the way on ForeFlight. So just add this to my route. Excellent, excellent. So we are about 13 miles to the northwest. So I'll go ahead and give them a call, about 11 out. And that's French Valley. And I believe they are reporting weather. See if that's true. They are indeed 240, 10 knots, That means the runway we're going to use is runway 18, which has 7 knot headwind and 8 knot crosswind from the right. And runway 18 is a left traffic. Right. French Valley traffic got a green and white Bonanza about 10 miles northwest of the field. Inbound to land runway 18. We're going to be entering a left downwind for runway 18, French Valley. Alright, so I'm going to swap back to heading mode here. Also going to bring the prop back to full, get a little loud, and also bring the power down. And so we'll continue this way. We'll basically head straight towards the airport, and once we have it in sight, we'll turn left for a left downwind into runway 18. And we'll call once we've entered the pattern. Pattern altitude is going to be 2300. You can go ahead and start descending. Probably a little late for that, honestly, but that's fine. So 2350 is what I'm looking for. There we go. Gonna pull the power back. Probably gonna hear the gear warning pretty soon. Maybe not. Great. See if we can see the field yet. I want to say that's... Is that it? Off to my left there? I think that might be it. There's that gear warning. Once we slow down a little bit, be able to take care of that. Yeah, that would appear to be French Valley. French Valley traffic, you got a green and white Bonanza entering a left downwind for runway 18, French Valley. So I'm going to go ahead and set the reciprocal heading, which is going to be 36. Going to go ahead and drop the gear, make that be quiet, adjust my power setting a little bit so that we gently start arriving into the white arc here. Alright, we're on a downwind. We'll turn, we're in a pretty wide downwind too, so we'll turn a nice gentle left base. I definitely entered right-hand traffic here. Let's go ahead and fix that, shall we? Well, I guess we're going to fly right traffic. I guess that's what we're going to do now, so I screwed that up. French Valley traffic, white and green Bonanza is actually going to be on our right downwind for runway 18. Right downwind, runway 18, French Valley. We are at pattern altitude here. I'm going to go ahead and hand fly this in. Going to make our right hand turn, ease off the power just a little bit. We're still pretty far out, so flying a very conservative pattern, or a very loose pattern. So we've got north dialed in to our heading bug, so we'll want that 90 degrees to our left. That's how we know that we've turned to base. French Valley traffic, white and green Bonanza on a right base, runway 18, French Valley. And we're going to go ahead and turn final. French Valley traffic, Bonanza's turning final runway 18. Final runway 18, French Valley. First notch of flaps in. Yeah, made her turn a little early there, that's fine. Looking pretty good on glide slope. We're a little light on the power. Let's go ahead and straighten up here. I'll finish the turn in just a second. Gently, gently, gently here. Now we'll go ahead and put our full flaps down. Check our landing lights. You know, I forgot about that. And now we're off a little bit to the left. That's correct. Got a pretty significant crosswind from the right here. It's going to be flying a pretty good crab. Yeah, about like this. It's looking pretty good. That's pretty nice. Alright, gonna do a little bit of aerodynamic braking here. Got my crosswind correction in, do some actual braking, and we'll exit over to the right here. Alright, flaps are gonna start coming up. Landing lights come off, strobe lights come off. French Valley traffic, green and white Bonanza, clear of runway 18, French Valley. Lovely, okay. So I'm going to find just a quick place to park here among all these 172s. Park next to this one. Excellent. Alright. Gonna shut off our avionics here. Power down. Okay, magnetos come off. Fuel comes up here. Everything back, flaps are up. Off, 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 off. Real quick here. Fill up the tanks. Fundaba. That's good. Double check my fuel here. Real quick turnaround. Beacon comes on. Now realistically we could probably start up right away, but the way that this does it really wants you to follow the actual startup procedure here. So everything goes forward. Go on our left tank. Fuel pump comes on. And that's, okay, we flooded it. That's fine. Mixture goes to cut off. Throttle goes to fuel full here. Crank the engine. There we go. Alright. Always a fun time. Check out parking brakes there. Alright, taxi lights come on, nav lights come on, avionics come on, still on 122.8. Gonna keep the RPMs up here. Lovely, we're ready to go again. Alright. Thank you, KK Bash. Appreciate it. That was not a bad landing. Especially considering some of the ones I was doing at Catalina the other day. That was pretty respectable. Alright, French Valley traffic, white and green Bonanza, taxiing runway 18, southbound departure, French Valley. Brakes released, quick motion check, right, left, everything works, we know everything works, flaps are up. Just gonna taxi on over to the left here, and I believe we can take Alpha all the way down just on this ramp, and we will get out of here on our way to Foxtrot 70. Are we at Foxtrot 70? Let me get my map straight. Lima 78, that's right. We're going to Lima 78 today. Alright, let's start paying attention to what's going on here. A lot of drones there, or maybe not a lot, but I think there are a few drones that come out of here, so I have to watch for those guys because they don't listen to the CTAF very well. Doing a nice Southwest taxi here. Always good, always good. Gonna make sure that we actually turn on our strobes this time. Let's not miss that. Maybe go ahead and tune COM2 into guard, and once we get up in the air we can go ahead and listen to that. That way we're not just listening to the sound of my terrible voice the whole way. That was a lot of full braking to get me to slow down there. Very aggressive taxi. Alright, nobody's on the final approach course. Double check real quick, make sure nobody's on the runway. Looks like we've had maybe a little bit of a wind shift. Feels like, looks like maybe less of a crosswind there. We'll still put in a little bit of a right crosswind correction. Anyways, just gonna get my altitude back up to, well hey, I didn't actually want you to go there. Let's fix my trim now. Okay, great. Set you to 3500. That's where we're gonna hang out today. Cool. Alright. Still nobody there. Still nobody there. Got that guy up there. Not gonna be a problem. So, strobe lights come on. Landing lights come on. We've done our camera, and now comes the action. Mixture goes to full. Prop is already at full. And we will make our way onto the runway here. We're gonna give ourselves all the runway we have. Got 5,900 feet, more than enough. Alright, let's get underway. Crosswind correction in here. Takeoff power set. Alright, airspeed's alive. And away we go. Already crabbing into the wind a little bit here. So we're already flying south, so we'll just fly a little bit more westerly here. Positive rate gear comes up. Traffic looks like he is kind of coming my way, so I'm just going to go ahead and give him a wide berth here. Turn left. No reason to point right into traffic. Don't even want to go that way anyways. Right, as we turn out, we're just going to watch that we're maintaining our vertical speed here. We're all trimmed out for the climb, so everything should be good. Engine instruments all look great. Just going to keep an eye on our airspeed here. Alright, that was a good little pit stop. So we've got, let's see, 4Flight's getting very angry with me. Go direct Lima 78 now. So at this rate we've got an hour to go, but once we actually get up to our altitude and start getting the cruise speed, it's going to become more like 30 minutes. Not on 11 yet, still on 10. Probably going to upgrade this weekend. The upgrade process is actually a lot easier than I thought it was going to be, just looking at what some of the other people have done. It's a really straightforward installation, so really no reason to delay, and there's some airports I want to use that are actually now X-Plane 11 exclusives. They use some of the new default libraries there. Engine's getting a little bit hot. Let's go ahead and pull the cow flaps out here. Oh, we had a notch of flaps in. I don't know how that happened. Thought we got rid of those guys. We got the strobe lights on, but we kept the flaps down, so... Didn't make one mistake, made another one. That's fine. That explains why we were so slow climbing out of there. So that's 2,500 feet. 1,000 feet to go. Yeah, I really love the E1000. It's actually one of my favorite planes before I got the Bonanza. So this is the Coronado Bonanza with the reality expansion pack, which really makes a huge difference. Coronado, I mean, pretty looking planes, but generally the aerodynamic characteristics were not amazing. But the reality expansion pack really makes a difference. And so, really digging this plane. And the E1000, before I got this, was definitely my favorite plane by far. A lot of fun to fly. And the systems are really good. You know, if you want to fly all-glass IFR with really solid GPS and just really good systems, E1000 is awesome. And if you don't want to get there in a hurry, the Pipistrel Panthera, also really superbly modeled aircraft, really nice systems, very easy to fly. But for the most part, I like to putt around in this guy. Got big old traffic over there. Actually, no, that's flight of 3. That's not just a very big plane. That's just a flight of 3. Lovely. But yeah, the E1000 is great. It's a lot of fun to fly. I definitely prefer it over the Epic Victory, even though they're relatively similarly performing aircraft. You know, like the jet stuff is fun, but I definitely prefer just sort of the feeling of a turboprop. So yeah, you definitely can't go wrong with the E1000. And I know that I don't know if you know Cat Strader. He's a streamer. Ty Schuff. He flies the E1000 all the time, and I believe he's doing it in 11 now, and he haven't heard any issues from him. So I'd say if you're looking for something a little bit faster, that's definitely the right plane for you. Alright, well, we're still battling against these high engine temps here, so after we level off, we're going to pull it back to 24 and 24, and that should take care of that. We're going to go over top. We're going to sort of split the difference on this terrain here. It's a little bit faster routing. A little bit more to the left there, airplane. Yeah, no problem. Definitely pop back in. Let me know how it goes. I'm trying to do this more regularly. Less so for the streaming stuff, but more just to keep everything sharp. Going through, I'd gone through some training a while ago, let that lapse during a job transition, and now I'm working on my Part 107 small UAS certification. Gonna take that test this week, get that over with finally. Had to reschedule it a bunch of times. And let's fix the vertical speed here. Let's go back up, please. Thank you much. And we'll arm that this time. Anyway, so yeah, I've been delaying the Part 107 test just from travel and stuff like that. And so now that I finally actually have time to go take that, that's going to happen this week, and then finally I can get back to actual flight training, which is going to be great. Still trying to decide on an instructor in a field based in New England, so I have a decent amount of options. But just trying to find the right one, because I had a couple instructors way a long time ago, and like one of them was not so hot, and he ended up actually leaving the flight school right away. And let's see. What was the next? Oh, the next guy was awesome, but he was based out of Chicago, which is not at all where I live. But I was in town doing work in Chicago, and the plan was I was going to do a lot of work in Chicago and be coming back and forth all the time. And then things changed with that, so I only got a couple lessons with him, but that was amazing. Flying out of Chicago Executive, flying right under the Bravo shelf, watching big airplanes coming on approach to O'Hare Midway. A lot of fun. A lot of fun. Providence Airspace, where I fly, not bad, but really can't beat that stuff. Alright, so we're level 3500, all the engine instruments are okay. We're still running a little hot, so I'm going to go ahead and reduce manifold pressure to 24, bring the prop back to 24. It's a little abrupt. And I said I was going to tune in the guard frequency, so let's go ahead and get that running.
177 Mike Juliet, roger. So discontinuance though.
Landing lights can come off at this point.
I'll be on for a
left
few
fuel
more
tank,
hours,
which
but,
works.
like I said, I'll let you just start over that lake. Otherwise, I think it'll be
Bring the manifold pressure down a little bit.
Just FYI.
Let's go ahead and see if that cylinder temp. It's not bad. It's not great, but it's fine. Not worried about it. Let's go ahead and see how much we can lean the mixture there. That looks about right. Alright, so now that we're getting on the west side of this terrain, we can go ahead and turn south a little bit more here. Pretty much flying due east right now.
619, Las Vegas departure, radar contact.
We're trying to go a little bit more southern. Ah, Detroit, that must have been really fun up there. Yeah, I've flown out of Chicago airspace, a little bit in Boston, a little bit in Iowa, which is, there's nothing going on in Iowa. It's actually, which is, you know, when I was first getting my, when I was first going through training, you know, I was planning on, I don't know, like I really wanted to go fast, and I was looking for really busy airspace, and now that I'm a little bit older and have a little bit better idea of what I actually want to do, it's really less about going fast and going different places. It's more about just like going slow and going low, and I'd really love to do some off-airport stuff, which there isn't much opportunity from what I know in New England. But I'm hoping to get out to California sometime within the next few years and do one of the finer points mountain flying sort of adventures. That would be a lot of fun.
16 right, clear for takeoff. And just FYI, I was able to kill, looked like there was actually 2 connections somehow. And I was able to kill the connection for the 12 Sierra Kilo. If you wanted to try to log back on with that call, otherwise, so we can continue. No problem.
Alright, so this is a little bit of a detour, but it's fine. We're pretty close to our intended path, just running sort of parallel from it. While I'm hanging out here, let's go ahead and intercept another VOR here. So the Julian VOR is, looks like 8 miles to our south-southwest, frequency 114 point nothing.
Or 172 Sierra Kilo.
114 point
Midnight
nothing.
Tower 112011 on course.
There it is.
Let's
go ahead and just fly that direct to the VOR. Unless it puts me right into a mountain. Which theoretically it shouldn't.
Bonanza 900 Tango.
But it kind of looks like it is.
Clear to Burbank,
which is great. Let's go ahead and hop up to 5,500 feet here.
Radar vector still beach expired. Maintain 2,000, expect 4,000 as your minutes after departure.
Hey bud, why are you descending there? Is that a weather update?
128.1.
Let's go ahead and hop back into heading mode.
2773.
I think Julian is actually a little bit higher than I thought it was. It's fine that we can climb up there. We have the power, we have the technology. Yeah, it's tough. I mean, I've been out of it for about 1.5 years now, and even that, pretty crazy. I went up for a flight just recently, and so rusty. Like, there are a lot of things that I remember, but it's also really tricky. And I'm you know, one of those kids that's been doing the sim stuff for a long time. And so when I first started training, I had a lot of bad habits to break. And that's one of the things I love about PilotEdge so much, is that even though a lot of the flying I do is VFR and sort of under the radar, so to speak, you know, you're still like in that environment where there are stakes, and like if you screw up, someone's going to call you out on that, and I really appreciate that. And it's been so helpful for just learning airspace and learning all sort of the extra stuff, airspace, communication, all that jazz, which is super important. But
313 Whiskey Kilo, Montgomery
once you're up in the air, that can kind of get in the
Hospital,
way when you're just learning, can get in the way of actually sort of getting a feel for the aircraft and sort of flying. And so my hope is that with all this training in PilotEdge, I'm able to have a little bit more situational awareness in the cockpit and be able to use more of my brain to learn the aircraft and less of my brain worrying about how to talk to ATC. Which already, coming with a little bit of PilotEdge experience and a little bit of like VATSIM and stuff like that, ATC wasn't so bad, but I don't think I really figured out airspace until maybe like a few months ago. And then everything sort of clicked at once. I was doing a lot of flights in PilotEdge, a lot of VFR flights actually. And that was really helpful. Alright, let's actually make sure to arm this time. That's really important. The engine's getting hot again. That's fine, cowl flaps are open. Doing what we can. I'll get worried when it gets closer to the red line. Alright, I'm willing to give Julian another shot now. Let's intercept that there. Does it, yeah, PilotEdge is really interesting. It's, I hope you had oxygen. Yeah, PilotEdge it's a really interesting service. I'm a huge fan of it and become, you know, relatively active in the community, which is really awesome. And the community, that's actually one of the really nice things about it. You know, just besides the offering itself, the community is pretty solid. And so you have a lot of people who are, you know, more than willing to help answer questions and give advice, and it's really great. You're sort of connected to all the people who are actually using the service, and they all sort of have a similar mindset. You know, we're all here for different reasons, but at the end of the day, if you're on PilotEdge, you're here to train. You're here to actually like do things the real way, which is great. And as far as the core offering, the radio services are super high fidelity, you know, completely accurate to what the FAA actually does. I was actually just involved in providing some traffic for one of their corporate clients at Gulfstream. And, you know, it's crazy. This is the first time that a company is actually using synthetic ATC for certification tests. And they were able to do it because PilotEdge is so, you know, exactly one-to-one with what actual ATC does. And so when you're testing people for human factors, you can actually, you know, the actual pressures and the stressors and the complexity of the instructions are all there, which is really great. So yeah, I'm a big fan. It's honestly, it feels more real than just flying around where I'm used to, because there's that aspect of unfamiliarity, which definitely helps, but also, you know, because the controllers, most of the time it's maybe just a couple controllers, sometimes even just one controller who's working a bunch of different planes, you know, they're really not giving you a whole lot of dedicated attention. And so they're not necessarily looking out for you in the same way that, you know, local ATC might when it's slow and they're only working a couple airplanes and like they sort of know who you are and like you sort of get into habits and you sort of relax. But you really have to be on your game with PilotEdge, which is really nice. Alright, while I've been talking here, let's, there we go. Not that I don't like very loud props all the time, but a little quiet's nice. Swapping over the right fuel tank there. But yeah, PilotEdge is great, and so I subscribe to the Western Expansion Area too, which is really awesome. So the Los Angeles airspace, super dense, super complex, super crazy to fly into, but a lot of fun. And then out west, you have just a huge diversity of types of airports, from, you know, Salt Lake City and Denver, to really small ones. Fly to Aspen all the time. Love Aspen. There's a tiny little one, I think Lima 20, or maybe now. Yeah, no, I think it's Lima 20. It's Ranger Creek. It's just southwest of Seattle. And that's a tiny little strip, sort of in a little mountain valley. It's super challenging to get into. But it's nice, and it's nice to be able to have radar services while you're doing all that stuff too. And of course flying all the instrument approaches and stuff like that. Really great. So yeah, if you haven't done the trial, definitely recommend you doing that. Oh, that's great to hear. Yeah, it's funny. I started like streaming and recording literally just so like a couple of friends of mine could actually see what I'm doing. But yeah, it's nice when people come across those things.
Right turn back to the north, and once you clear the Bravo,
and yeah, Aspen, definitely my favorite airport. A lot of fun. Would really love to fly in there in real life someday soon. There's a man, I can't remember the name of it. There's a really good pilot blog where this guy took, I think, a single engine, fairly small plane, did this whole adventure over on the west coast. So he like flew up California and then into Alaska and did this whole backcountry adventure, and like that's the kind of stuff that I love. So I'm hoping to be able to do that within the next 5 years. That would be amazing. Anyways, yeah, definitely check PilotEdge out this weekend. The free trial is really awesome. You can really get a feel for it really fast. I mean, you've flown before, so I think you probably understand, but for a lot of people, it's super intimidating the first go around. But
Lima 04 Airport.
It's fantastic.
Heading 270.
That name sounds really familiar. I gotta say, there's so much other content that I look at for my work. I work in the commercial film industry, and so I'm watching social media content, YouTube videos, and stuff all the time. So I don't actually watch a whole lot of aviation stuff. I know some of the bigger names, and then Cat Strader is one of the guys that really got me into PilotEdge, just watching his streams. He streams every Friday on Twitch. But yeah, I think I know Mr. Aviation. I think I might have seen like some of his review videos or something. Oh hey, there's a plane that I didn't see. He's not even on TCAS. That was fun. Okay. Saw those lights give me a heart attack. Alright, I've had a lot of fun with you, Mr. Julian. We're gonna fly a heading now, though. Get a little bumpy. Oh, okay. Okay, yeah, so I definitely haven't seen him then. That's pretty cool. I've got some family in Texas. That's another place that I'd love to fly. You know, there's so many really cool places that are cool for different reasons. You know, Los Angeles airspace, super condensed, super busy to fly in, similar to some of the other metro areas. But then just flying out in the backcountry where there's nobody else around, where you have just huge swaths of airspace that are free. That's pretty cool.
On departure, flight heading 255. Maintain P4 out of below 3,000 till advised. Departure frequency 125.2. Squawk 745. You're 157.
Exactly.
Negative.
You know, Chicago, it's beautiful, but like, especially like if you're ostensibly like pilot in command, if it's your airplane, like you are not necessarily paying attention to the scenery. You're looking at all the other aircraft around you that are trying to get in. But that was a lot of fun because then you had all those big airplanes, and you also had like little tiny Falcons and other little jets coming into the executive airport. And it's crazy because you're not talking to anyone in Chicago. You're talking to the executive tower, but that's it. Other than that, you're on Unicom Freak. All right, we're about 15 minutes out here. We've strayed a little further east than I'd want to. But we're nice and high now, so I'm going to go ahead and start cheating on over to the R8 here. Make more of a direct course here.
1720 Kilo, you understand the coaster altitude's 5,500, correct?
Alright, so we're going to Lima 78. CTAP's going to be 22.9. Go ahead.
We're going to need to make another turn
Dial
right
that
outside
in.
of Bravo airspace. Report 5,500. Establish.
I went the long way around on this guy. Here we go. Excellent. I don't use flight sim economy actually. Try to get into it. I feel like it was just like way too, like the learning curve's crazy. Like just getting into it right off the bat, it felt really challenging. But it does sort of solve one of those problems that I know that I have from time to time. Like sometimes it's tough to get motivated, even to get out in the sim, just because like you don't really have a mission to fly. And so it is really nice to have sort of a reason to do this. But yeah, I know a lot of people that really love it, and there's actually like a whole like sub community in PilotEdge that flies on FS economy. And there is talk, although I'm pretty sure it's not going to happen because it's coming from someone outside the community, sort of. But I think there's someone who wants to build sort of an FS economy that's built for PilotEdge, because I know a lot of the PilotEdge guys are super into it.
240, contact loss, destination center 134. Correction, 126.35. Los Angeles Center 126.35.
Well, this isn't like a great terrain sitch. I could get higher. Kind of enjoying flying low, although I should really check my chart and see. I'm sure this is like protected area. We're high enough. Let's look at the sectional here. I know we're actually just outside of it, but there is like a granite park. It's the Anza Borrego Desert State Park, actually, with Granite Mountain to my left. So, actually fine altitude-wise for that. I will go ahead and stick on over here. See, I'm about 1,000 feet above terrain, so I should get up a little bit. Just hop on over to 6,000 feet.
208.2 across Donna at maintain 12,000 and 220 knots or less.
Do it nice and gently though. And maybe not quite so gently. Let's go ahead and prop full here. And we're just going to kind of follow this ridge line. Let's see, if I wanted to bail out, where would I go? There's that. That just looks like a path. That doesn't even look like a really great road. That's not a great option. Off to my right, trees. It looks like there's a field-ish kind of thing there. Really don't have a lot of altitude though, which is not ideal. Just gonna keep our climbing left turn. Probably gonna stick a little bit closer to some of the valleys here, although we're sort of going perpendicular to the ripples in the terrain here, so not great. And that's 6. Let's hop on over to 7.5, shall we? Why not? Just gives me a little bit more options here, although, man, the options here are really limited. And now we are back to default X-plane. Yeah, you can see the difference there. Ortho versus default. Default's not bad. But the ortho stuff is definitely really cool to have. It's really intimidating at first. I think it took me a couple months before I sat down, tried to do ortho a couple times, just looked at all the stuff and was like, yeah, I don't know if this is for me. I don't know if I am going to get enough benefit out of it. But did a little bit of testing, took an entire weekend to build everything, just let it sit and download and build for 48 hours, and then bingo bingo bongo, 1 terabyte of ortho covering SoCal and New England. Fills up a hard drive fast. It's got a dedicated hard drive to it right now, and that's really what it takes. I'm gonna nose down a little bit before I stall out the aircraft. That would be very embarrassing. Although not entirely not indicative of my ability to multitask. So let's see here. We're basically flying direct to Mount Laguna, which is at 6,700. We're going to be at 7.5, so that's not going to be a problem. Oh yeah, John Fly is pretty cool. Yeah, he's on P, I believe. Yeah, no, I think once you get into it, I mean, the service is great and the community is really nice. You know, that Gulfstream stuff that we were doing, that corporate providing traffic for the corporate client, that was really fun. We actually just there was 7 of us that were working on that. Well, I say working on that project. We were just hanging out and flying planes in New York and LAX area. But we got to go down to Gulfstream and actually visit the main plant and get some sim time in, which was really dope. So not that that's indicative of everyone's community experience with PilotEdge, but that's been mine so far, and that was pretty cool. That was a pretty amazing experience. And I think they're going to be able to talk more about that. They've shared a little tiny bit of that publicly, but pretty soon they're actually going to be able to do like a full press release, which is going to be awesome. There's going to be a Wired article about it. Really, really cool stuff. So I guess that's the other thing that I really like about PilotEdge. Like, it definitely, the service itself feels like it's from the future. It is definitely the future of flight training in a lot of ways. Alright, so we're pushing 24 here. Gonna go ahead and lower that down. Should be able to cut back on the mixture quite a bit here. Nah, not as much as I'd think, but it's fine. Pretty much even on fuel. Gonna go ahead and switch it again over to the left before I forget, because I always do. Oh yeah, no, this is miles and away better than VATSIM. I mean, VATSIM's great. I think the events are really nice and the traffic density is nice, but it's just a different type of person that flies on PilotEdge, which makes a difference. And the controlling is just by far and away, you know, the accuracy. They use all the SOPs from the FAA that they acquired directly from the FAA, and that's how they do their training. And Keith, the guy who manages everything and runs the ship, he just does an amazing job with their training program and just getting everything. Oh my goodness, is my gear down? That is. I almost didn't want to call that out. That's hugely embarrassing. That's the reason I was getting terrible climb performance. I wonder if my button doesn't work. Let's see here. So I thought I called it. Okay, yeah, that switch, no bueno right now. Oh well. I'm not going to talk about that. That's going to be cut out from the edits afterwards. And here I thought I just screwed up my flaps on the departure. Well, avgas is cheap enough. Just don't tell the rental place. Let's see here, we're still west where I want to be. Let's go ahead and fly over to the right. We're getting pretty close though, we're about 5 minutes out. Still have plenty of terrain though. Let's see, looking at the sectional. We've got to avoid that area because of the park. So that makes things a little tricky, although we're plenty high. So we can actually get a little lower perhaps. Right straddling the difference between two different sectionals, and it's a real pain in the butt, even with ForeFlight. So let's see, is Lima 78 reporting any weather? Of course not. Nearby weather, 290, 14 knots, 29080. 190, 8 knots, 29074, wind's calm. Okay, so wind's coming out of the east-ish, or the west-ish rather. Yeah, it's always funny, and it's nice to have the sim to be able to make those mistakes. Actually, that's the one thing about this plane I still haven't gotten a proper checklist for. I've got a digital checklist, but swapping back and forth between the checklist and the 4 flights, not the greatest thing in the world. So I have some printed checklists coming for me, which is going to be really, really nice. Trying to do that for all the planes that I like to fly in the sim just helps me actually practice the flows, because otherwise I'll just get really lax about the checklist, and that's not the right attitude I want to have. Alright, so winds are coming out of the west here. The field is east to west, I believe. Yeah, so it's 07 and 25, so we're going to be landing 25 for sure. 25 is going to be your right-hand traffic, which makes sense, because if you flew left-hand traffic, you would get into Mexico. And that's not what we want to do, so we're going to fly a right downwind into 25. And we're about 11 miles out, so we can go ahead and start making calls here. So, 12290, CTAF. And I'm going to butcher this name. I think it's Jacumba. Jacumba traffic, you got a white and green Bonanza, 10 miles to the north-northwest of the field to land, 25. We're going to make a right downwind, Jacumba. Oh yeah, the Baron's a lot of fun to fly. I really like single engine stuff, but for a multi, the Baron's great. It's also just like a really pretty looking plane. Yeah, for a while, way back when, sort of like in my second round of flight sim, because I've had like 3 sort of periods of my life where I've been pretty into simming. During that second one, I was really into the Baron, B-58. The Baron and the King Air. King Air, the 350, that was a lot of fun to fly too. Here come the bumps. And I'm going to hand fly this all the way down. Oh, here come the clouds too. Alright, well, let's pretend I'm not instrument rated. Let's do an emergency 180, get out of that shit. Actually, I don't think that works with this weather. I think we just have to dive to get out of it, which is not a great option considering the terrain, but that's fine. Pull back on power, let's not overspeed the aircraft. Free rental is always nice in FSE. Alright, so we're coming in pretty hot here. No, I'm flying VFR. That's another fun thing about simming. It's just, you know, you'll just get, boom, weather update, IMC. Okay, so I gotta be very careful here so as to avoid going into Mexico. Let's see, the field should be down there somewhere. Ah, that's it right there. It's a longer runway than I remember. It's great. Alright, so I'm going to tune in, put in 250 and my course knob here, and then we're going to fly the reciprocal, which is 70 degrees. Infernal beeping will go away eventually at some point. Looks like we've got some interesting terrain to consider here. We've got these power lines, which is fun. Let's see if I can put in a little bit more power and make that beeping go away. That did it. There we go. Nope. Yeah, I'm really glad I've avoided most of those experiences so far. Oh man, the sloping terrain's kind of a pain in the butt. Alright, Jacumba traffic at a white and green Bonanza on a right downwind runway 25, about to turn base runway 25. Jacumba. What a great sounding name. Alright, let's avoid all these power lines. Oh, and that's really Mexico right there. Okay, so I think those power lines are, man, I think those are right on the border. So, alright. I think what I'm going to do here is stop focusing on the radio calls. I'm going to give myself a little bit of power here. Just do a climbing 180 here. There's a name for this actual maneuver that I forget what the name is. There's my turn rate. I'll just call the final. There's nobody else out here, is there? I will put my gear down for real this time. Go ahead and pop my landing lights on a little bit late. Oh man, this is real interesting. I really got to zoom into the map to make sure I'm not going into Mexico here. Let's put in our first notch flaps. Yeah, and those power lines are accurately represented. Those are a real pain in the butt. It's gonna be a lot of fun. All right, full flaps in, full prop, full mixture, quick gumps check, gear, undercarriage, mixture, prop, seat belt. All right, so that runway with that mountain there, or hill, or whatever the hell that is, it's a real challenge, isn't it? It looks fun enough, though. All right, so let's just keep 90 knots as best as possible. Oh yeah, we're fine. Okay. A little bit of traffic over there. Yeah, it's just terrain drawing in or something. Alright, so we'll do... So I guess I'll call a 1 mile final here. So Jacumba traffic, got a white and green Bonanza, short final, runway 25, Jacumba. So, a little slower than I want to be, especially with this terrain. Yeah, this is real weird. The terrain is basically your glide slope here. I need to read the AFD. I wonder if you're even supposed to come in. So I'm just going to do a low approach here. Jacumba traffic, white and green Bonanza going around. We're going to come into circle for runway 07 full stop. Runway 7, Jacumba. Yeah, let's do that. Looks like we have a straight crosswind from the right, going to be on our left, so we'll make a right-hand circle here. Or from our left, going to be on our right, rather. That's fine with me. This is a lot of fun, though. Let's go ahead and put up 1 notch of flaps here. Yeah, this is just oodles of fun here. This is a nice little town. Yeah, we're not even that high up, and my engine performance is kind of garbage. Alright, let's try and do this again. Jacumba traffic, white and green Bonanza, turning short final runway 7, Jacumba. I knew this wasn't going to go great. But, this is a much more sane approach. Still high and fast, but why not? Alright, so we should be crabbing to the right here, which we are. Looks like a pretty stiff crosswind too. You know what, I wonder, I bet what it is X Enviro is giving me like, not upper level winds, but like mid-level winds. Because there's no actual METAR for this station. That just doesn't exist. Not bad, I'll take it. Aerodynamic braking, a little bit of crosswind correction in here, a little bit more. Let's start the real braking now, because we don't actually have that much runway. Oh, technically off the runway. It's bad form. Did not want to stop, though. Alright, braking action. Poor. I've got a crappy little SciTech. Well, it's not crappy. It's like the Cessna edition. It's supposed to be nice. Got the SciTech yoke and a SciTech throttle quadrant. Have a little SciTech multi-panel that covers like autopilot and trim. And then I have a GoFlight radio panel that honestly feels like it's good for nothing sometimes. But yeah, I gotta update the Twitch description. I don't know if really anything's changed super much, but I know I've got a few things that are a little different. Alright, well, I was really happy with that landing until we went off the runway, but IRL, this whole field's all gravel here, so I don't feel too bad. Anyways, let's go ahead and park. That was a nice little adventure for this evening. Alright, parking brake set. Flaps are going to come up here. Let's keep the engine up a little bit. Alright, flaps are up. Landing lights come off. Taxi lights come off. Strobes are off. Nav lights can also come off. Avionics, goodbye. Alright. Power, prop, mixture. Fuel cut off. And out of ignition. Alternator and battery. Alright. Nice. Yeah, the GoFlight panels are pretty dope. They're a little temperamental on Windows 10 with USB 3.0. They're actually a right pain in the butt, but you figure out how to use them consistently and get them working. Anyways, thanks for joining me. Appreciate it. Gonna go ahead and disconnect now. That was a pretty solid flight. I'll just have to cut off the recording right at the end of that landing there. Alright, thanks for hanging out, man.